Om Jnanatimirandhasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So I have a new group again. Hare Krishna. 16th chapter, demoniac and divine qualities. So for those of you who are first time here, this concept is we cover a chapter a day. We usually cover a chapter a day. It's like an overview of the chapter, and in this way we get a picture of the points in one chapter. We miss detailed, deep analysis, which Prabhupada gives in his purports, in each purport. Therefore, I always encourage you to read that, and this is meant actually to inspire us to read also the Srila Prabhupada's purports, and we cover some of the purports of Prabhupada, which will help us to get to get the picture. Okay, so like this, we have a text 1 to 6 is actually abstract or how you call it. It's like a summary. Lord Krishna will see. We will read all that. We will read all the verses. It's like a summary of divine and demonic qualities. And then the main section is actually the largest section, is explanation of demonic qualities by Krishna. Then will be like some kind of a conclusion. I put demonic destinations and how to escape them, because Lord Krishna will explain what are the destinations for one who is cultivating demonic qualities. And interesting, how can one be vimukta, freed, liberated, or as Srila Prabhupada translates, escape. How can I escape these gates, 3 gates to hell? They call it. And what is that hell? What is that? What that actually is? It's a very interesting chapter. It's quite interesting, this chapter. Not one of my favorite chapters. But it is a very, very interesting chapter.
It is mine.
Your? Okay. Anyone else?
Especially the first part.
Especially the first part. Bhagavad Gita. So we will start reading texts. Yes, so Lord Krishna is starting immediately with divine qualities. Texts 1, 2, 3. I'll just read the Sanskrit also of the first texts. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattvasam Sudhir Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti Dhanam Damascha Yagyascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Tyagha Shantirapaishunam Daya Bhuteshvaloluputvam Mardavam Hrira Chapalam Teja Kshama Dhriti Shaucham Adrohonati Manita Bhavanati Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly man, endowed with divine nature. Srila Prabhupada speaks in purport. In the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entities, some auspicious, some inauspicious. In the 9th chapter also the devas or godly and the asuras or the ungodly or demons were explained. Now, according to Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberation, and such activities are known as Daivi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. This is interesting, transcendental by nature. We'll see about it later. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature make progress on the path of liberation. For those who are acting in the modes of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either way, they will have to remain in this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In this 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities and the demoniac nature and its qualities. He also explains the advantages and disadvantages of these qualities. This is a summary by Srila Prabhupada of the whole chapter, of the whole 16th chapter. Then he has the word abhijatasya in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as a garbhadhana samskar. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of a human being. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so that they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Next, Srila Prabhupada will continue explaining us about these qualities, divine qualities which are here mentioned. And we will see that there are some qualities that apply to especially for sannyasi or one who is in a renounced order of life. Some qualities especially are meant for grihasta or the family people, and some qualities are for vaishyas or the merchandise, merchants. And some qualities will be for shudras, and some qualities for everybody. Some qualities for everybody. Like the beginning, if you see abhayam sattva samshuddhir jnana yoga vyavastiti, Srila Prabhupada will analyze each one of those qualities. Each one separately he will analyze. So first are meant especially for a sannyasi, the one who is in the renounced order of life. For him is abhayam very important. Like, for example, abhayam means fearlessness. And then Srila Prabhupada explains why. Because sannyasi is meant to realize that he is never alone. And that he has complete faith in Krishna. So he's fearless. It's a high quality, isn't it? Fearlessness is actually high quality. Therefore, sannyasis can go alone, completely alone, in the dark forests, jungles, and they are not afraid. And usually, because Lord Krishna is in everyone's heart, he reciprocates with them. So, Krishna is in the hearts of wild animals also. So in this way, you know the story, the psychology. If animal, or if especially beasts, wild animals, see that you're afraid of it, they will become angry. They will use that. Some of you have experience with horses in your childhood, all right? Yeah. I wasn't on farm in Croatia. They keep horses on the roads. And the lady told me, like, you must not show them that you are afraid of them. They will immediately use that, at least disagree, You must always have a feeling that you are superior to them, and then they will behave like this. I don't know how is your experience, but this is what she told me, the lady, because huge animal, and then you can see. Then they get afraid, or wild cats also. So this is some psychology, If you are new, I have experience with monkeys in Vrindavan, in the holy place. There can be like 100 of monkeys going on. You can easily walk in midst of them, no problem. If you are just cool, you are just passing by completely. But if you are, then they will also become. They will use it. They will do something to you. Something. Take your glasses, definitely. They will take them anyway. No matter how you are. You have to put out the glasses. So this is the importance of abhayam and sattva samshuddhi. The sattva samshuddhi, actually the purification of one's existence. One know that he is actually not this body. He's not very much into the bodily identifications. That means and he knows he is a eternal servant of Krishna. So this is sattva samshuddhi. Sattva means actually the existence. It's interesting, isn't it? This word sattva is actually sattva guna. It's actually sattva guna, but sattva means the quality. Tva, and sattva means the quality of sat. And sat means that which is good also, so goodness. But sat means that which is eternal and that which exists. So actually it is the natural quality. Sattva is the natural quality of living beings. You will see in this chapter, and in 17th chapter, Srila Prabhupada explains that actual sattva actual goodness is transcendental. Therefore, he mentions transcendence here. If you notice, no, it's interesting. He's speaking of transcendental qualities. Transcendental qualities. It's just the mood of goodness. But this is mood of goodness is actually transcendental in its pure state. But in the material world, mood of goodness doesn't exist in its pure state. Therefore, it consists of the three gunas, this material nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. But there is another sattva which is pure sattva, and it's transcendental, and that's our natural state of being. Actually, that's why we hanker after something always. We always hanker after some state which is, not of this world. Hanker after something higher. Okay. Then there are dhanam, damascha, yagyascha. This is meant for the grihastas, for family people, like giving charity. That's very important for Ireland is famous for charity. All kinds of charity going on, and people giving charity. That's very.
Those are businesses.
Businesses, yeah. Yeah, but the idea itself of dhanam is very important.
Yeah.
Dhanam, giving. Why? For a family man is important giving because he has his family and that's it. But when he extends and gives out, then his consciousness is broadening, becoming broader because he's expanding. And Dhamma, Srila Prabhupada explains Dhamma. Self-control is especially for, he says, family people. It's meant for family people, self-control, very important. Because you have more responsibility. There are more people under you, so you have to really be self-controlled. And Svadhyaya is meant for the brahmacharis, the study of scriptures. Then Tapa is meant for vanaprasthas, retired, those who are preparing for sannyas. So there is the qualities which are specially meant for some section, which are especially cultivated for certain section of society. Not everyone will cultivate all the qualities, but some qualities at all times are for everyone. So this is the text 1 to 3. We will just continue reading now the whole of the verses. Please, each one of you can read at one text. We can start from somewhere and go some kind of circle. We can start from up, from the clouds. From the demigods, yeah. English, yeah, and please loud, yeah.
Text 2? 4.
4.
4, sorry.
Yeah, text 4.
Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Partha. Are you the full verse?
Now they just read the whole. We will read the whole verses to cover the chapter, the line of the chapter.
The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities.
Thank you. Text 6. Yes.
Well,
Take 6, 664. Page 664.
664.
Yeah.
664.
Mm.
O son of Partha, O son of Partha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demonics.
Thanks. So just follow here. You see now, this was the summary. Now Sri Krishna will start explaining demoniac qualities. Let's hear about it. Text 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Those who are not demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleaning, nor a proper behavior, nor a truth is found in them.
Text 8.
They say that this world is unnatural, unreal, with no foundation, no God is control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
Text 9. Someone?
Following such
Yeah.
conclusions, the demoniac, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world.
Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusioned, are always drawn to unclean work attracted by the impermanent.
They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable. Bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires, and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by legal means for sense gratification.
Now, how demoniac person thinks. Text 13 to 15. That's Cliff.
The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future, more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my enemy and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. And in this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance.
16. It's me. 16. Thanks. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. 17.
Self-complacent and always impotent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following the rules and regulations, without following any rules and regulations.
Thanks.
Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion.
Okay. So this text, finish with text 18. Now we'll hear about demonic destinations and how to escape them. Text 19.
Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life.
Of life. 20.
Attending replaced birth among the species of demonic life, a son of Kunti, Such person can never approach me gradually, then they sink down to the most abominable type of the existence.
There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to degradation of the soul.
See? So these are the destinations and how to reach them. Three gates. There is information how to reach these low destinations, and in the same time, this is actually, information for us, for spiritual people who tries to advance and to uplift consciousness, to use it for upliftment, what to be careful of, beware of lust, anger, and greed. This is the products of Rajoguna, and greed will very quickly bring. Anger is already a mixture. They say sometimes they put it as a Rajoguna, sometimes as a Tamoguna, a mixture, because anger is destroying. Tamoguna is meant to destroy. Anger always destroys something. So it's actually Tamoguna. And it's even harder to control anger than to control lust. So Prabhupada explains, lust we can somehow subdue, but anger very difficult, much more difficult, because it is the secondary surge which comes up, and how they say, it appears out of nowhere.
Actually, just said something, because I did read in a book, you can only catch anger when it's rising, but if it reaches the top, you can no longer control it, but you can control it when it's going up. If you observe it, you can catch it and stop it.
Yeah, there are if you a little bit study, if you analyze and study the anger, you will see so many there's anger management shows that you can watch and learn about, and so much on anger, Positions of body also says anger tends to focus, and then they will say, first relax your focus. That will help a lot, if you're angry, and don't stare just, okay. These are different advices for anger. There's a lot on anger, because we have this problem. Human being has this problem. Anger is a huge problem for human being, because anger destroys in a moment that which you have cultivated for years. It's such a dangerous quality, anger. So I also work on it a lot and study myself. I have to study that a lot, because a little bit of anger can do a lot of harm. All right. Then greed. You want more. But if you study this, it becomes really, really, if you're trying to perceive it in your own life, in your own deeds and deeds of others, especially if you can, because these qualities, which Lord Krishna explains, the demonic qualities at length, a sincere spiritual seeker or devotee, he will try to see it inside, locate it inside. This is like Arjuna. See, in the beginning, Krishna says to Arjuna, "Don't worry, Arjuna. Ma shuchaha. Don't worry. You are abhijatosi pandava davim prakritim. You are born with the divine qualities. Do not worry." So this is the nature of a devotee or a spiritual or divine person. He will be worried. When he hears something bad, he will think, "Oh, no." Bad person will not do like this. Those who are endowed with bad qualities, demonic qualities, they think differently. We heard about it already. I'm perfect. So this is one, I'm perfect. And how can we see this in ourselves, this I'm perfect? well, let's say we are doing something and we are good at it, and then somebody comes and corrects us. Oh. It's not easy, isn't it? It is not easy at all. No. Especially if you are excellent in something and somebody comes, somebody who tells us this is not, it should not be like this or that. Who are you to tell me? You know? That means I'm perfect. When we become annoyed or angry on some suggestion, that means that is the consequence of thinking I'm a perfect, isn't it? Because if I know I'm not perfect, then there is a second one, you will also recognize this probably. Okay, I am stupid, but not as stupid. Some of you are getting it. You know, when somebody is telling you something what is obvious, you know, but they still are telling you, or warning you, or you know, and then you think, okay, I am stupid. I may be stupid, but as stupid I'm not. So this is, in our small ways, you know how we can see these things going on. I'm perfect. I'm a controller. Something escapes my control. Oh, nobody is happy when things escape his control, isn't it? Indra was not happy. And divine being. It's not easy when these things come up. I'll give you one example which I was fascinated with. Once I was cooking something for big gathering, and there was hot oil, burning oil coming to my face. Somehow I did some mistake. And next day I was supposed to give some class, public class, in another city, and it was Dubrovnik. It was supposed to be. And I had a big boil, like this, big boil. You cannot go. It was cancelled. It was cancelled. And then, interestingly enough, when I informed the devotees there what happened, one devotee told me, you know, just between your city and our city, it just is another place, and there is one old lady there. She treats that very quickly. So I went to this old lady. I went to her home. It's a village, small village. And before her, I went to one expert, and they said, we are not happy to see this. It's not nice for such a young man to have this. But when I went to this old lady, what was there? Nothing in her home, only some cotton, hot water in some plate, and television in front of me. Noisy. You know, I was thinking, I got a little bit afraid. It was not Abhayam. I was not in Abhayam state, which we mentioned there. I was a little concerned. I was thinking, wow, where I came. What is this? What will happen now? Because when you have this noisy television which doesn't even shows any picture, you know, it implies to you that this lady is not taking a lot of care, you know. He's ignoring things, so maybe, you know, who knows what will happen now here. But she's famous lady. And what she took just some cotton first and hot water, and she took all that away. And she gave him a small cream made by her mother. Only they know the recipe. And she told me, apply this. In 7 days this will disappear completely. So I obeyed, but what is my point in this story is my question to her. When I saw all this, I asked her, may I ask you, are you sure you can do this? Are you sure you can treat me? You can do this? It was my question came out of me. I could not think you know. And her reply, she said, my son, everything is in the hands of Holy Anton, Saint Anton. And my faith completely. All my doubts were cleared. I said, somehow, you know, because she was such a humble lady, you know. But she treated much more severe cases than me. But she said, oh son, everything is in the hands of Holy Anton. Go to some serious medical practitioner, I hope some of you are not. Now to tell you this, you know, because they will be offended. No? They feel offended. Very much. Especially, we say doctors, or you call it here, medicals. Huh? Medical professionals. They will become very, very offended because they think, I know. I've studied a lot and I know. And if you come with something from the village, theories or something, some practice, they just, their ego cannot accept it because I know. See, this is the trap. This is the trap. This is how knowledge can help you get demoniac qualities. So that is not knowledge. That is not knowledge. So this is the devotional life. Devotional life, we want to analyze this within ourselves. And we should be able to recognize it also outside. Why? In order to avoid. In order to help. In order to avoid. Okay. So let's just proceed on. We'll see more of the. We read which verse?
Two more. 22.
Now it's 22, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, somebody, please, loudly.
The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, perform acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination.
Thank you.
He who discards spiritual injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination.
One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated.
Okay. So we see here the root. Srila Prabhupada explains a person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust, kama karata, following one's own whims. Knowingly. So we have a lot of this. You see, this is 5,000 years ago written, and you can sense how demoniac nature will even use the scripture. Although, you will see now this phenomena, this Kali Yuga, this special Kali Yuga phenomena. You see, one who is denying the scriptures, one who does not accept authority, is like and just goes according to his own whims, is generally called demoniac. So Srila Prabhupada says it basic is whether he accepts Shastra or not. And in the West, usually, Srila Prabhupada, when he was preaching or spreading this knowledge in the Western countries, he was not too much referring, on the Vedas. He was applying logic. Logic. Because in the West, we want to reason. And in the East, if you just quote some Shastra, everybody accepts, It's told by Lord Shri Krishna Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. No problem. These are described as divine qualities. Divine qualities are natural. But You see how this is becoming complex if you want to think more deeply about it. If you want to think more deeply about this subject, it will become very complex, because you can use Shastra and impose demoniac qualities also. Like, you are the demon. You know? You don't follow rules. See? So what that means? That means you are the controller. You are God, and that's the demoniac. You know? Just some example. So the things is very complex. It's not as easy as you think. So it's very complex. But, yes, please.
We like to see other people's bad qualities.
Oh yes.
And we like to point their bad
Oh,
qualities, not
yes.
ours, not ours.
Yes, exactly.
And then it makes us feel better when we point their bad
Exactly.
qualities.
Exactly. And when you today psychology has advanced a lot. Now people really study a lot, and then you naturally see that all this so-called evil and these things are actually misery. It's nothing else but a misery of life, of character. And then when you see someone else more miserable, then you become happy. That's actually mostly it. Or love, which we haven't received from our parents. Then you become violent, because in the childhood you were very much mistreated, and then you become violent and mad. That's so all actually bad qualities means absence of love. Absence of love. When love is there, then we will see how Srila Prabhupada explains this in the last. Please remind me about that. Yeah.
So, are you born with certain qualities?
Ah, okay. Are we born with certain qualities? What do you think? Okay, now let's not for now contact the Shastra. Let's just analyze it. What is your opinion by using your brain? What do you think? Just some opinions, short opinions, yes?
We're born with both divine and demonic qualities.
Alright, so we are all born with qualities, with some qualities, and they tend to be gradually manifested. Now what Shastra says, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, don't worry, do not worry Arjuna, you are born with the divine qualities. And Srila Prabhupada explains this. He explains this, what it means, you are born with divine qualities. And you see how important is state in which we can say, where is this Garbhadana samskara, in our lives, in lives of most of the devotees. There is no Garbhadana samskara, or the purificatory process before conceiving the child. And still we have so many devotees. So there are things that are destined, like for example, Ashwatthama. Anybody heard about this personality? Is that Ashwatthama is son of Drona Acharya. And Drona Acharya is a military teacher of Pandavas, of Arjuna. So Ashwatthama, when Lord Krishna said, Dronacharya knew his father, he knew that Ashwatthama was not meant to become a very noble personality. So he knew it since the beginning. And therefore he did not transfer some confidential military knowledge to Ashwatthama. But he has done this to Arjuna. So Ashwatthama was always envious like this. Why? My father. It's my father. He should give this to me. He didn't taught him about Brahmastra. Brahmashira. Special kind of Brahmastra, Brahmashira. which he used. He didn't give this knowledge, wanted to give this to Ashwatthama because you have to have a noble character for this. Otherwise you will misuse it and then huge damage. So since Ashwatthama was pushing so much, his father taught him, but he didn't taught him how to take it back. So Ashwatthama released this weapon when he wanted to kill the Pandavas. He released that weapon. It's Mahabharata story. So you see, many things are destined. Many things are destined. These things are destined. But especially in this age, in Kali Yuga, as Prabhu has said, we are mixtures. We are mixtures. And there is another Vaishnava story, not story but theory. It's not theory, it's actually practice. And that is, it says that even, what to speak about human beings, even the lower species can become devotees of Krishna by proper training by a Vaishnava. It is Shastra, mentioned Bhagavad, 2nd canto. Tiryak appi. I don't remember that verse, but even the Tiryak, the lower species of life, can become devotees and become purified by the training, by accepting training from a pure devotee. And we have a lot of examples. I think all the Western devotees mostly are all examples. Are examples. Most, or at least some. I know myself, I'm definitely an example of that, because I was actually very rebellious. I did not like any religion, or it was for me, it was just madness for me, just and ignorance. God will punish you. Come on, get lost. You're gone, Yeah, I was like this from my childhood. Very rebellious, but when I found devotees and Srila Prabhupada, I was conquered, because there was strong logic, great character, great philosophy, and I'm conquered. I admit, I'm conquered. And then I started following this. Now I have a chance to become a devotee and escape these 3 gates of hell. We all have chance. They are it's very easy to go to these 3 gates, don't worry. It's not for someone there. It's very near, it's very near, these 3 gates. So let's see. So these things are interesting, because don't worry, Arjuna, you're born with divine qualities, because if you were reading, or if you will read 16th chapter, this verse, especially last verses, destination of the demons, you will see Shri Krishna says, these demoniac entities, again and again, they will become born in the demoniac species, they will never attain me. That's their course is like that. They never attain, again and again. But then, a devotee, Vaishnava, naturally, he wants to liberate and help all souls. So, if these souls meet a devotee, they can become purified. It's not magic. I wanted to use some more powerful word than magic. Do you have any word in your miracle? It's a miracle. It's absolute miracle. And that's a miracle of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's happening on the spot. It's truly happening. I witnessed it with my own eyes and ears. People who were like, wow, so demoniac, and they became on the spot turned, transformed. I tell you one live example. One lady devotee, she was going to distribute we had some magazines of Radha Krishna in Croatian language. Veda, it was called Veda magazine. Very nice, spiritual magazine. And it was war time. It was time of war in Croatia. We were going out distributing this around. Devotees we were in our own world, we want to give them Krishna, and that's, no matter war or not war, Go out and give spiritual knowledge. This is what you miss always. Peace or war, there's always war, you know. There's always illusion going on. So we're doing this. And she came to one bar. It's a bold lady, I can tell you. It's a very bold lady, very brave. This Abhayam, she is a real sannyasi, I can tell you, that lady. She came into the bar and she's offering to a gentleman magazine. You know. And he takes, what? Krishna? What is this? Ah! And she threw it on the ground, started yelling. Wah! No. He became very angry, very angry. And she just looks at him peacefully. Imagine. Peacefully, she just looks at him. I'll try to say it in English properly. Rekla je, dragi gospodine, a kaj to vama pa smeta? In Croatian she said, listen, that means, my dear gentleman, what you are annoyed with? What do you have? Do you know about Hare Krishna? She was so, in a half minute, the guy was completely, he was, and he started apologizing. He bought 3 magazines, gave some donation because he was apologizing. He forced her to drink something also, tea or something, you know, like, not forced, insisted, you know, please, please, please. He was apologizing like to the end, you know, transformation on the spot just by the contact with the devotee, you know, with kindness and compassion. He could see something happened, you know, something happened. This is contact with a pure devotee. And when we, you know what means pure devotee? That means a devotee who is selflessly giving him or herself in the service of Srila Prabhupada, of Guru, of Krishna. And you become, at that time, you started manifesting qualities, amazing qualities. At that time you are a pure devotee. Krishna is using you. Now, completely pure devotee, he is always like that. You know? But we have our periods. You know? You can be instrument for some time because you were surrendered. But then, after that, you will maybe do something else, and lower energies will catch you. No? But all of you have experience when you are in some spiritual circles and you're doing some nice things, you become empowered. You become empowered. Just with the time we learn, it's not me. No? Because the demoniac mentality will always go like, it's me, it's me, it's me, you know. No, it's not much about me. It's the mercy. No? And this is the divine quality. No? Divine quality means you always give credit to Krishna and to others. And when you have such a society, it becomes heaven, isn't it? It becomes, your soul can really flourish, you know, and be nourished. But the society where there is always competition, you know, envy and competition, who can live? Who can live there? You just fight and fight and fight. Economy, competition. Yes, for some time you can do, but when you are still green, gringo, they say in South America, gringo, you're still green. You don't know much about life, but when life takes you down a lot, then you become more mature, more compassionate, more introspective. You know? You start doubting in yourself. This is the first thing. The demon, he doesn't doubt in himself. You understand? He thinks, I'm perfect, I'm happy, I'm strong. When you start doubting in yourself, this is the beginning. This is the blessing, the doubt in our own self. This beginning of purification. You should always question that. Spiritual man should always question his acts, his thoughts, his motives, always. In this way, we have to accept ourselves in the state which we are. Yeah, I'm not high, I'm very low. Please, Lord, accept me. And then you will be able to accept others as well. So there are a lot to it. Okay, to conclude the 16th chapter. Thank you very much. One should this last text, Srila Prabhupada says, Sri Krishna says, one should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So, you see what is the benefit of knowledge. You know what is to be done and what is not to be done. We will hear in the 17th chapter, in 18th chapter, actually, that buddhi, or discrimination in the mood of passion, buddhi in the mood of passion doesn't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. That cannot make discrimination. And we will hear in the 17th chapter that these gunas are in our hearts. Our faith is in our hearts. So it is not so easy to change guna. But get knowledge, what is to be done, what is not to be done will be easily gotten by a spiritual person. No? Because we want to learn. You want to learn. I want to know. How much can I follow? Doesn't matter. But I want to know. And I'll try to follow. This is a sincere person. No? But one who wants to gratify his own ego, no. My mistakes will be shown here. No. God. And everybody else will see his mistake except himself. Everyone else will see it and run away. So Srila Prabhupada makes it very simple here for us. Srila Prabhupada always gives very, very easy, simple points to us. He always makes sure, just surrender, just act in Krishna consciousness. Like this, you will see this. So all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. You see? So if you follow the scriptures, if you want to know rules and regulations, Srila Prabhupada says, if you come to the point of serving Krishna, serving the devotees of Krishna, you will reach the top. Because Lord Krishna says in the 15th chapter, the goal of Vedas is to know me. So if you serve him, and he says also, if you want to serve me, serve my devotees. It's very easy. It's very easy for them. Srila Prabhupada continues, he says, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. It's so easy that we can miss it. So easy, we easily miss it also. He says, he asked people simply to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of food stuff offered to the deity. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfectly. Of course, for the ordinary persons who are not in Krishna consciousness or who are not engaged in devotional service, what is to be done and what is not to be done must be decided by the injunctions of the Vedas. So what is, you get it here? Srila Prabhupada just, he gave us just basics, we don't need to know all these amazing rules, which we, especially in the Western world, we never learn all this. And even in India, if you go to South, you will see many people are just into the rules, no? You will see that. Go to South. Amazing people, but many people are just into the rules and small rules, and they forget the essence. They lose the essence, what is the actual essence of spiritual knowledge. So Srila Prabhupada is giving this essence, and this essence is life. This is the life of spirituality. and therefore we can experience the bliss. That is the idea, spiritual bliss. Okay, and he says, you see, because if you analyze it scientifically by your brain, these points which Srila Prabhupada here explains as very simple, you will see that they are amazingly practical. Just by becoming a devotee, what you want to offer foods to Krishna, You offer food to Krishna, and then you will see what Krishna eats. Okay, no meat, no fish, no eggs. Immediately you are becoming a vegetarian. You are becoming non-violent. Your character will improve also in that way, because you become more calm. Because the meat which you eat and all those things contribute to anger. So there are, you see, if you're going into the study and analyze of this, you will see how it is actually amazingly practical point. Just association, process of devotional service. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thanks. Thank you. Now, if you have some questions or comments or contributions, please feel encouraged.
You were saying that one of the demonic qualities not know what to do and when to do it. Can you elaborate that? That means you're not able to make decisions in everyday life, or
you are able to make wrong decisions. Shri Krishna says in the beginning, go to the. You see, now we have a little bit discussed, but in your free time, try to read. We should try to read and think and. Even if you cannot find time, just come here, and then Amanda is here. There always some reading going on, some association where you can gather, or family where you can gather some, and little bit read and discuss. That's very important. Like this. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Text 7. That's the first beginning. They don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. And Srila Prabhupada explains the demons are not clean either externally or internally. Not clean. Internal cleanliness. That's what we are speaking all the class about internal cleanliness. This we want to make this space sacred. This is our mission. This is our mission. We want to do that. And we have this capacity. And we have blessings from all the spiritual acharyas. This is what they want. This is their desire. They want us to become jewels. Like when they ask Srila Prabhupada, how many more are persons like you in this world? Maybe. Is there anyone more? How many? And Srila Prabhupada replied to him, what was Srila Prabhupada's reply? She did not say, yes, only few. No. Srila Prabhupada said, why are you bothering yourself with such questions? You become one. You become one. And this is the Acharya, this is the Guru. No, he will encourage you. Do something on yourself. Do a little bit. Never become despondent, Never. Every one of us can do some small thing, don't worry. And if we cannot do anything, I just spoke with one devotee now in that calendar club. One devotee came to me. He's a very senior devotee from 80s. And he came to me at the stand, and I'm drinking some antibiotics I'm taking because I have some serious tooth issues. So I was there and I did not have anything to eat there, but when taking antibiotics and painkillers, you tend to become very hungry, you need to put something in your mouth. And I was there and I did not have anything. And all of a sudden he appears there and gives me like the full box, of warm, nice samosas. It was a nice thing. But good timing, perfect timing. Yeah, but I lost my point. What I was trying to make. I was so enthused that I lost myself. My point.
So you like samosas?
Not so much actually, but in this, I was very much liking this. What was the point? This will be. You must help me now. Please try to comment. Yeah, whatever small thing you do, no, that's what we're talking about. Whatever small thing you do, please. He told me this. He told me this, how he himself was encouraged. How he himself was encouraged to do something small. Do something small. Big mercy is there for us. I'm sorry, I lost the proper point of that story, but that is the idea, general idea. It will be more, it would have more impact if I would remember that. But I became overwhelmed by the by what happened. Yeah. Hare Krishna. All right. Anyone else? Something? Or you can end for now. Next one will be on Monday. Monday 7:15 will be next. We will have amazingly, Arjuna will ask, you see, Arjuna will ask, what if someone has a strong faith, which is the actual mood of goodness to have faith, but does not follow Shastra, follow something what he has, individual, something. Is he in the mood of goodness? Is he in the mood of passion or the mood of ignorance? And Lord Krishna will give very, very elaborate answer. He will say, faith itself can be into the mood goodness, passion or ignorance. And he will elaborate on that. So we will have that at Monday. Okay. And I encourage you to read also, if you can read something in advance. Maybe some of you will not be here, I don't know, here, but thanks. Thank you very much for coming, for listening, because these discussions are actually what is uplifting all of us together. This is the blessing of having association with each other. Thank you for your attention. Yes.
It seems that the demonic qualities are in the lower modes, the lower modes of nature of passion and ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of we're born in them lower modes, every lower modes of nature.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely lower modes, which are actually torturing us. Passion and ignorance are so much torturing the whole society, and torturing us. So, especially demonic qualities are like that. And you will be more elaborated in the 17th chapter. But this, whatever, there are, it's orientation actually. Usually, passion easily turns into ignorance. It tends. Passion tends to put you into ignorance because passion will overdo. And when you overdo, you become tamasic.
That's right, yeah. It seems to be more, it's in between goodness and ignorance.
Yeah.
Like
passion is human society, is mostly passion, creating. So if we cultivate goodness, this passion and transcendental knowledge and practice, this passion will become transformed. It will be used for our upliftment. Because goodness is not just sitting. We will learn that in the 18th chapter. What is the just for example? What is the performer in the mood of goodness? Karta, the one who performs. In the mood of goodness, how is he performing? Shri Krishna explains. Just to give you an example of sattva, and it's interesting. You would say, oh, he's calm. But he says, dritti. He has a strong determination, dritti. Utsaha, great enthusiasm. Dritti utsaha samanvitaha. Siddhi asiddhi niribha. He has this amazing quality. Whether in success or in failure, he is unwavering. He's not wavering in a success and failure. He's always enthusiastic. This is Karta Sattvika. This is the performer in the mood of goodness. And actually, this is transcendental quality. They are transcendental qualities. One who is in the mood of passion, he will not be able to endure. Why we cannot endure? We will fall down in the mood of passion. We cannot have this determination. in the mood of passion. We will overdo or we will give up due to unpleasant circumstances. If you give up due to unpleasant circumstances, that's mood of passion. I have a famous example like India Dumna Swami, one of our famous devotees, Prabhupada disciples. No? I remember him since I was living in the temple many years. Well, he would come. I remember once he came to Croatia. He used to come to Croatia. He always actually likes to visit places which are in war. You know, he always go there. He's like, he always go where there's some trouble and he spreads some Kirtan there. It's amazing personality. Prabhupada's special soldier. And I remember he came, and there was supposed to be Harinam party, Sankirtan party in one town where there are a lot of tourists and people, and the rain started falling. And then the devotees were like discussing, oh, there's no use, rain, they will not go, nobody's going, no. But then they saw in the Duma Maharaj preparing for going out, and they were looking, and they all went out and they chanted on the rain, no problem. They arrived there and chanted under the rain. This is the blessing of new mridangas. Balaram Mridanga made it that you can play it in the rain, and everyone's been blissful and happy. So this is one sweet example how devotee is always enthusiastic. He will be unwavering in success or failure or whichever situation is. He's just, and we can relish by hearing about such a devotee. It's important to hear about devotees. Very important. It's very tasty also. There are many books and materials to hear and read. This is very, very, very satisfactory and uplifting and to give us spiritual strength. Okay, this is time to stop for now. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Krishna. Shri Prabhupada. Jai. Hopefully see you. I hope to see you, some of you.